Hi, I'm Chris Wixtrom, and I'm going to be signing and voicing my article that I wrote many years ago, and it was published in a magazine called the DeafPride Advocate. This was in winter 1985, and it's called something more. No, something. Sorry, it's called something less. Something more. Okay. Deafness. Suddenly, I was face to face with it. I had opened my door to find someone standing outside, and I recognized him as my new neighbor, Ken. He said nothing. He smiled, he pointed to his ear, and he shook his head. So, he was deaf. At the moment that I realized this, I felt fear. How would we communicate? I'd never talked with anyone deaf before. Sure, I'd seen them waving their hands over at the school for the deaf, of course. But I'd never thought much more about them. Yet here was one of them at my door. Ken smiled again, and with a questioning expression on his face, he made a simple gesture with his hands. I grasped his intent. He wanted to borrow some scissors. After cutting through the communication barrier, in this first exchange, Ken and I found other occasions to talk. Initially, we drew letters in the air. Or we wrote things on paper. In order to talk, to get our thoughts across. But finding this slow and cumbersome, I soon began asking him how to sign various words. Okay. He was an enthusiastic and creative teacher. And our rapport developed as I gained a new ability to speak and to understand his silent language. It wasn't long before I found myself with a full-fledged fascination for this new language. American Sign Language, ASL. ASL is not a form of manual English, I discovered, but ASL is a separate language with its own grammar and its own rules for expression. The speaker's face, hands, and upper body convey information to the listener's eyes. of information. Every part of emotion. Every nuance of meaning that can be conveyed with spoken language to the ear can be brought instead to the eye by means of the rich language of sign. Ken introduced me to his deaf friends, and I accompanied them to plays and other events that were interpreted into sign. I also attended many of the special sports and cultural events which were put on by and for the deaf. Okay, surrounded by flying hands and animated, soundless conversations, I often felt like a stranger in a land where everyone could communicate fluently except me. I kept my eyes open though, and after months of immersion, I found myself swimming out of my sea of ignorance. Communication began to flow, along with a new appreciation for this community of people with their own culture, deaf culture. I was surprised to find that the deaf community really does have its own clubs and events and conventions and customs and colloquialisms. As I became steeped in this culture, I realized that many deaf people don't view their hearing loss as a tragic handicap or deficit. But many see it as a difference. This difference is dealt with and handled with an expansion of communication avenues. And these people feel a sense of bonding among themselves. And that bonding relates with a shared identity. Okay? And the challenges that deafness presents are squarely faced, and creative contributions and depth of character grow out of these challenges. With my experiences with deaf people, I was changed. I broke out of my limited view of the world. I realized that people who do not speak my language, nor communicate by speech as I do, have excellent qualities. And I need to learn to appreciate and value those qualities. Deaf people do not lack anything. No. They do not have a problem with missing anything that is necessary for full humanity or for living full lives. Deaf people have everything that is necessary to be just the same as you and I. So, actually, you need to think. Their culture, their language, their wonderful qualities and abilities can actually enhance our lives. Rather than representing something less, deaf culture offers something more. I encourage you to meet deaf people and enjoy yourself as you learn their fantastic, beautiful language. Bye-bye.